Hey, okay. Okay, now it's happening. I changed devices, downloaded software, all kinds of stuff. I won't even go into the details because it's way too boring and makes me feel appear older. Probably. Not that I care too much. But here I am. Here some of you are too. Lovely. And this, by the way, if is a album rehearsal because I'm rehearsing for my album every day. Hey, Marco, every day in preparation for going to the studio tomorrow to record this solo acoustic album to be titled Songs for Today, which is not confusingly but not accidentally related to the name of my one of my podcasts, Song for Today, and the name of my upcoming tour. And thank you for that lovely message just now. And I will be looking at these screens. We're broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook. My Facebook page, which is like not the, I don't know where that appears on Facebook, but it's facebook.com/David Rovics Music, or on my YouTube channel. It's broadcasting from two different screens, two different angles. Not that anyone cares, but on Facebook you can actually see my guitar, whereas on YouTube, due to my technical inability to do something about this, you can't. But you can watch on both platforms if you want, and or neither. Oh, thank you. Oh, I love to see that my music is what got people radicalized. This is why I keep doing this, because I get those messages every now and then, and that is the best message to get, other than like I'd like to donate $1,000 to your campaign. That's also a nice one. Oh, and by the way, this album is going to be an exclusive for my CSA members and folks who donate to my crowdfunding campaign for the cargo bike. Eventually, it'll be up on Spotify, of course. But speaking of Spotify, this is going to be the first track. Somewhere on Spotify you'll find a playlist with most of what I've written, with barely a song missed. Like my first album, which I hopped out on the road. I'd spend earnings on expenses. That's how the money flowed. After just a little while, it became a circular thing. It was a pattern where each year I would sing into a mic in a studio somewhere. I'm not looking for everything to be perfectly fair. It's nice that it's all free now, but there are days I miss when I could make a living at this. Somewhere on Spotify you'll find the albums that I made from the time the bills stopped being paid. Mine exchange so simple ever since the days began, when first covering the costs meant first begging from my fans, spending all this money again in the studio, end up with an album and nothing else to show except a dozen songs on Spotify for me to give away. 5,000 monthly listeners, $7 a day. It's nice that it's all free now, but there are days I miss when I could make a living at this. Somewhere on Spotify you'll find a million people like me, veterans of what was called the indie music industry. You'll find us there, along with all the youth who'd be forgiven for not knowing that it is the truth, that it was long ago folks like me could pay the rent. Didn't need to hop freight trains or live in a tent. There was a little while when the internet seemed cool. Now we all get green while big tech rules. It's nice that it's all free now, but there are days I miss when I could make a living at this. hello everybody. So this once again is a rehearsal, an album rehearsal, live streamed album rehearsal for my upcoming studio project tomorrow. And I'm here, and I love your comments or questions or anything, whether or not it's related to the studio project. And if you care to take a moment to share this on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, and let people know this live stream is happening. It will continue to be happening for the length of about an album. Well, specifically 13 songs. I just sang one. And if it doesn't sound good, let me know, or if it does, or anything. But not much I can do about it. But you can tell me, and I can see about doing something. Hey Laura. I was in Winnipeg last weekend. Had a wonderful time in Winnipeg at the. Oh, thanks, Lee. Good. Sounds good. This month is the anniversary, 100th anniversary of the Winnipeg General Strike. And when I got an invitation to sing at the festival, I wrote a song, which I might have written anyway, but it's nice to have a particular reason. War came, men were drafted, many never made it back. Those who did discover, in their absence they got the sack. Tenements and squalor, both rats and people getting sick. What they had in common, life was short, death was quick. No one had a plan, what they were going to do. When all the men came back home and the ranks of the unemployed grew. The way the people had to live was no life at all, but it still came as a surprise. How many answered the call? If you weren't there, you'll never know just what it was like when the whole city went on strike. City leaders and newspapers, in many ways they tried to do everything they could to widen the divide between good Canadians and what they called alien scum, between those who missed conscription and those who beat the war drum. When the veterans marched in Winnipeg, they marched for everyone, under the banner of the working class, the one big union. Everybody left their jobs, whether organized or not. Even the policemen walked away. They refused to embrace the rot. If you weren't there, you'll never know just what it was like when the whole city went on strike. The mayor deputized the scabs. Soon they shot two men who died in the city center on the hour when the scabs rampaged through the city, attacking anyone in the street, trapping people in alleyways, not even allowing them to retreat. Soldiers occupied the city, people hadn't eaten in weeks. The prospects for victory began to look bleak. People went back to their jobs, if indeed they even could. The bosses said they'd seek revenge, and many of them would. If you weren't there, you'll never know just what it was like when the whole city went on elected to the Canadian Parliament, and a monument was erected at Main and Portage, where a streetcar was overturned, driven in by strike breakers on the spot where it was burned. It was a century ago, but life is often still defined by which side you were on that picket line. Was your grandpa shot in the heart, or did they break his leg when the working class rose up and shut down Winnipeg? If you weren't there, you'll never know just what it was like when the whole city went on strike. If you weren't there, you'll never know just what it was like when the whole city went on strike. That's Winnipeg. This is a little rehearsal for my studio project tomorrow, album, solo acoustic album to be titled Songs for Today. Thank you, Artin. And your comments or questions or anything else are most welcome if you care to say anything. I'm broadcasting on both Facebook and on YouTube, so if you want to let folks know this broadcast is happening, it'll be happening for another 11 songs or so. And yeah, on Facebook the comments stay there, and on YouTube they disappear. Live chat, all message. Here we go. Here we go. Now all messages are visible. And Logan says stories like, oh, but then they disappear. And stories that like that are inspire awe, and I totally agree. So important that we know this history, because it can change everything if we do. Because if you understand the past, you can create the future a heck of a lot better. And if you understand the past, then the present makes a hell of a lot more sense in terms of like, for example, what's happening right now in Venezuela. If you know what the U.S. did before in Chile and other countries, then you understand what they're doing right now in Venezuela. Chavez was elected like every time he ran. When his socialists took power, that's when the changes began. The opposition started attacking every forward move, but reforms went ahead, the people's welfare improved. A land of such riches that it always gone to so few was reaching places ignored since 1492 in Venezuela. Millions poured into the streets to stop the coup back then. They got the man that they elected back into power again. The Bolivarian Revolution became famous worldwide. Soon other socialist governments swept in a red tide. Between the Cuban doctors and the Venezuelan oil, millions got medical care, millions tilled the soil of Venezuela. Bush began the sanctions, Obama imposed more, a slow-burning, destabilizing economic war. Following the formula of the Chicago Boys team, used in many places to make economies scream. Oil prices plummeted, foreign holdings locked, invasions being planned, negotiations blocked in Venezuela. From the Haitian Revolution to Venezuela today, from the Seminoles to Salvador Allende. Look at their ankles, you'll see chains, imperial vampires, open veins, those who stand up to the business elite, who cannot stand to see the workers in the driver's seat in Venezuela. In Venezuela. And Logan comments that you'd like to see chords for a lot of my songs, and I love that kind of statement because it's a perfect opportunity for me to mention to you, Logan, and to anybody else interested, that probably about 200 of my songs, which is only less than half of them, but around 200 of them, you'll find sheet music. If you go to davidrovics.com/songbook, you'll find sheet music for many of them, but not all, and not that one. And many of the songs I've written in the past 15 years involve chords that I don't know what they are. We are sad that we can't hear most of the lyrics. Oh, good. This is the kind of thing I want to know. Most lyrics with this mix. I'll try the Facebook link to see if it's better. Yes, the Facebook might be better, but if you can't hear the lyrics, that's not good. I think the problem is the placement here of everything, but this probably won't help much, but it might help a little. You can hear it fine, Logan? My guess is Logan is younger than whoever it is who can't hear the lyrics, because younger people are better at hearing lyrics. And you can hear it, so many people can hear it fine on YouTube, and that one person can't. But yeah, that doesn't mean that it doesn't need to improve. It's just that, thank you for letting me know that most of you are hearing it fine. That's good. I have that same situation with many people. Like, I can hear things that other people can't hear, but it's good for everybody to hear it, you know. But oh, you found me from Vanguard. Excellent. You're a teenager. Ah, good. See, teenagers have better ears. And yeah, I didn't mean to insult you or anything, you who can't hear my lyrics, but didn't mean to call you old. I'm old too, so it's okay, you know. Hi, Dad. My dad's listening. And Facebook, and we're all very welcome, all you who are thanking me. And actually, this song, I don't think anybody's heard this song anywhere, other than like in a couple of different rooms, but I don't think I recorded it, put it anywhere. This next one. No sound comes through. Just reading. Hello, Sean, in Ireland. Yeah, and speaking of, yeah, feel free. There's still another 10 songs on this broadcast to go, so we're just at the beginning. So you please feel free to tell people about it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, that it's happening, and it'll be archived too. So I'll just tell you that this is a rehearsal for a studio project I'll be doing tomorrow, and thank you for sharing fully automated luxury, etc., whoever you are. Comrade, hello, fellow worker. And what was I going to say? Yeah, it's the distracting nature of social media, but I did it on purpose. I'm broadcasting on 2 platforms at the same time, so it's all my fault. But this song, these songs represent basically maybe half of the songs I've written in the past year, and I think not necessarily the best half, but I think it's the half that works together well as an album in many different ways, which I could explain in more detail for any geeks who are interested. But this is a true story, which anybody from Northern England probably knows about, hopefully. But if you don't, you will. When the Nazis came to Rotherham, most people stayed indoors and closed their blinds. Let them have their Nazi rally, then try to leave the day behind. Then the Nazis came to Rotherham. In 14 months they marched 14 times, always accusing every Asian of every unspeakable crime. Then the Nazis were there in Rotherham when he was walking to the mosque to pray. Mushin Ahmed was weakened so savagely that he died that way. Then the Nazis came back to Rotherham. This time the town was in the streets, so this time the cops kettled the march, and this time they forced the march to meet the Nazis who hang out in Rotherham at a pub called the William Fry, who were waiting for the kettled marchers so they could attack them as they were passing by. And the police raid came at dawn, awakening every everyone. I was there with my family, asking them, what have I done? What have I done? Attacked by the Nazis in Rotherham, they had to act in self-defense. How could this possibly be a criminal offense? The Nazis came to Rotherham, then the Crown charged 12 men for defending children from racist attacks as they were forced to walk by the pub when the Nazis came to Rotherham. And then prison hung over the heads of those who defended their children instead of cowering under their beds. And the police raid came at dawn, awakening everyone. I was there with my family, asking them, what have I done? What have I done? The Nazis came to Rotherham, and the trial of the Rotherham 12 was the consequence of Asian men who dared to defend themselves. Those who fought the Nazis in Rotherham could have gone to prison for years, but they were found not guilty by a jury of their mostly white working class peers. The Nazis came to Rotherham. Some of them did time behind bars, though the Rotherham 12 were acquitted. The families are marked by the scars when the police raid came at dawn, awakening everyone. I was there with my family, asking them, what have I done? What have I done? And checking messages on YouTube, which always, yeah, good. Excellent. Free from school for 3 months starting today. Excellent. Excellent. That is a very good thing. There's a lot you can do with that. Now, I want to see the rest of the messages that are hiding up there. Chat viewing options. That's what I need. Maybe chat. Oh, these are the chat views. I can hide the messages, or I can let them appear now and then disappear before I can read them all. YouTube, you suck. You might want to work on that. But this is being broadcast on both YouTube and Facebook. I'm afraid on Facebook you can see my guitar, sort of, and on YouTube you can't, and I make no, well, I'll make a slight apology for my lack of technical abilities, but the album's going to sound really good because it's being recorded in a studio by a professional studio musician with a very large mixing board and really nice mics, and he knows what to do with them all. And studio, what did I say? Studio musician? I didn't mean that. Studio producer, engineer. Love your songs, thank you. And part of the album process of coming up with an order of, I'm going to open the window here just a sec. Sorry. It's getting hot in here. There's construction going on out there, but now it's stopped. So the part of the thing with album, coming up with an album, is coming up with the order of the songs and, you know, an order that works well musically and thematically, or musically or thematically, or ideally both. And this song, you know, really smart people out there can figure out how this song is related to the last one. Extremely astute, you can tell me the last name of the person I'm singing about. Travel around Europe today, you'll find society stratified, you'll find it ever widening. Political divide, you'll find a growing left and and a right that's growing faster, convincing people they're the ones to avert the next disaster. You can see the dark clouds grow, taking over every space. Oddly enough, in a little place called England, where a growing chorus screams, I agree with Jeremy. The BBC ignored him, or they treated him like a clown. Transnational corporations said this man will bring us down. The Blairites in the party stabbed him in the back, and then they did it again. But after each attack, he was steady at the helm, at the job for which he was picked. Despite all the accusations, he's an anti-Zionist peacenik who wants to change the country, and says the country, I agree with Jeremy. Most members of the parliament wish he'd go away, but as their elected leader, he's here to stay. When he supports a candidate, they usually tend to win, which makes the Blairites fume while the rest of us just grin. Between the BBC, the Tories, and all the corporate MPs, the tabloid press, the IMF, and all the landed gentry, they're pulling out the stops to stop the ascendancy of I agree with Jeremy. The case before the nation is the one that we all face. What direction now goes this human race? Do we give up on the missiles and tax the rich a lot? Or give up on society and just embrace the rot? Among us who would tell us it's the foreigners to blame, not the Blairite Tory billionaires and their big neoliberal game. Each day the numbers grow, as each day new people see that they agree with Jeremy. I agree with Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy Corbyn, as folks on both YouTube and Facebook figured out. Quite right. The only Labour leader who is a Facebook friend of many people I know. Not that that means he's automatically a nice guy, but it's a very good indication of the possibility. And that's not why I like him, by the way. I'm smarter than that, just by a hair. One short hair. Here's the next track on the album. I think this will be the actual order anyway. And by the way, if you want to get the album, it'll be out by the day after tomorrow, and it will be available on, if you go to my CSA page at davidrovics.com/subscribe, or if you donate to my cargo bike crowdfunder, which you can find on davidrovics.com. As I made that announcement, I lost a viewer on Facebook. I'm sorry. Lost another. Nobody wants to hear it, but sorry. You can go away. That's okay. My great-grandparents were refugees. That should be a normal thing to say. I was born in New York City. My people came from far away. They fled the generals and dictators, the warlords of Moscow and Budapest. You could be conscripted for the rest of your life, or you could head west. My great-great-grandparents were refugees too, just north and west of Brittany. Farmers in the hills somewhere on the starving side of the Irish Sea. They fled their colonial torturers. They fled starvation, slavery. They fled across the Atlantic along with millions of other refugees. My great-grandparents were refugees, but
but getting to the other side took such a toll, it seems, that my great-grandfather died. So when his son was a little kid, he grew up without a dad. And that's typical of the hard life so many other refugees had. My great-grandparents were refugees. Let me tell you what that means. They were escaping war-torn lands ruled by tyrants, kings, and queens. They did not come seeking fortune. They were not pioneers. Leaving home, their hearts were broken. All their cries fell on deaf ears. My great-grandparents were refugees. No one taught me that in school. It's dangerous information in the old game of divide and rule. My name is David Rovics, and I know who my people are. They're on that raft upon the ocean. They're in the trunk of that car. My great-grandparents were refugees. No one taught me that in that I was born in New York City. My people came from far away. That was, I messed up the last line. You saw that? Oh, here's another that nobody's ever heard on guitar. This is one of those ones I wrote like a few years ago. But and let's look at some comments here, see what people have been saying. And there's some technical problems out there. I don't know what to do about it. Thank you, Daniel. And I don't really have any nails at the moment, so this won't be as good as it should be, but I really need nails. Ever since the days when you learned to dress yourself, you would reach for certain clothing from your little shelf. You said, I want to dress like mommy. And that's exactly what you did. You always did things differently from most other kids. You'd be playing with a doll or some other toy when someone else would ask, is that a girl or a boy? Someone would call your given name with you there in your dress, leaving some to wonder, with others left to guess. Are you an innie or an outie? A princess or a king? Do you like to play with tractors or wear angel wings? What's inside that box? Is it a bullet or a pearl? As someone else must ask, is that a boy or a girl? You'd pretend that you weren't bothered, but it was clear you were. Then one day someone asked you what pronoun you'd prefer. Learning there were options, and the choice was yours to make. For you, there was no question which path you would take. You grabbed a piece of paper, signed it with a swirl, as you announced, my name is Guinevere, and I am a girl. Ever since the days when you learned to dress yourself, you would reach for certain clothing from your little shelf. And the next one I wrote far more recently, last September, while watching the, or listening to the Senate hearings that ultimately confirmed our latest right-wing Supreme Court justice, who is a might have the wherewithal to tell. Is this good? Is this exactly what I really want to do? 'Cause what you want is what matters here, and I hope you know that's true. 'Cause all I know for certain is whatever lies in store. The best and the worst things happen behind closed doors. You're on your own, along with billions of people trying to find their path. Some are raised in loving empathy, but there are many reared by wrath. There are those like you, for whom the planet Earth is a wondrous place to share. There are many who seem only to have learned how not to care. All I know for certain is whatever lies in store. The best and the worst things happen behind closed doors. The best and the worst things happen behind closed doors. And here's the 9th song in the series of songs for the studio album project, to be titled Songs for Today, which you can read about at davidrovics.com/subscribe. Let's mark this date together, lest it pass us by. Let's recall the moment when the powder keg ran dry, when all across the USA cities turned to embers. Anybody old enough vividly remembers everything that happened on that date. 50 years ago in '68, carpet bombing of the city of Hanoi, barely 2 decades after Little Boy. Draft cards burning, police stations on fire, the powers that be down to the wire. The naked emperor was the normative state. 50 years ago in '68, both ruling parties were exposed. The question of the day: Mr. President, how many kids did you kill today? If we try to draft more soldiers, said the general, I can't guarantee that we could maintain domestic tranquility. A society on the brink, the possibilities so great. 50 years ago in '68 was a time when everyone was rising to their knees just outside the halls of power throughout the colonies. From Oakland to Algiers, from Saigon to Paris, structures laid bare for all to see. The use of force alone will not determine our fate. 50 years ago in '68, soldiers were kept in barracks lest they figure out the score, that love really can be more powerful than war. The ruling class tried desperately to gain the upper hand, faced with a society they didn't understand, when they just about got stuck beneath the historical weight. 50 years ago in '68, anyone in power know now knows it might not last, at least if they look back to the fairly recent past, when the consent of the governed was for a time withdrawn, when empires were challenged and some of them were gone, when the movement was global, liberation was its freight. 50 years ago in 68, 50 years ago in 68.
Yeah, the thunderstorms and tornadoes seem to possibly be affecting things somewhere. In terms of internet reception, that would not be one of my favorite years in history. Absolutely, me too. Let's see. 10th track. And here's another one. You win a prize if you can guess who it is I'm singing about. This will be much harder than that one about Jeremy Corbyn, though. You'll have to do some serious research or be from the right town. I first met him at a place that I knew well, where he's taught for several decades, where I went for a spell. I attended all his lectures back in 1993, when I once studied political economy. Every year since then, you'll hear in those walls the labor theory of value explained between those walls, the kind of sharp analysis that strikes fear in the oppressor. Let me sing a song for my professor. When I first met him, his kids were only tots. Fast forward to the present, they grew up a lot, which is impressive when you think of San Diego State, what almost happened to him and what happened to his roommate when someone opened fire on the house that they lived in during the Vietnam War, when they railroaded him to prison, almost taken out by COINTELPRO. He almost didn't have successors. So let me sing a song for my professor. When I first met him, I just had to grin as soon as he started talking. I thought I was in Brooklyn, in English or in Spanish. He speaks a special version, reflection of his childhood, NYC immersion, the place his parents came to when they fled genocide, managing to make it to the other side. Just part of who he is, if I'm being the assessor. So let me sing a song for my professor. When I first met him, he took students overseas to meet some of the State Department's favorite enemies. Friend of socialism, foe of the elite, never held elected office, but he occupied a seat. They tried to get him fired, run him out of town. That little effort failed. The government backed down to the man who rose this morning, put the jeans on off his dresser. Let me sing a song for my professor. Let me sing a song for my professor. There were people watching at some point who would have known the answer, who that song is about. What do you win, huh? Well, tell me what you'd like to win, Logan, and then we'll see. I don't know, I hadn't decided. But if I'm offering prizes, they should be real. This is another song about a person, but it's not about a person that I like or love at all. It's about somebody I really dislike intensely. About as intensely as possible. I guess for somebody I've never actually met. John McCain, John McCain. Your grandfather was an admiral and your father was one too. When you turned 17, you knew what to do. You signed
for the Navy so you could make it rain, kill innocent civilians, dropping bombs from planes. John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain. On your military service, you then made a run. You got into the Congress in 1981. In the halls of the Senate, you had only just arrived when you were caught up in corruption, one of the Keating Five. What should have been a loss, you turned into a gain. Not quite sure how you did it, the innocence you feigned. John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain. You were the hero in the Senate who had survived the war, the one who would explain to them what they were fighting for. For each act of aggression, you would cheer along. You'd go visit the troops and sing your military songs. You'd thank them for their service, and then you'd watch them die as they fought for corporations launching missiles from the sky to the streets below, which would be covered with the stains, the blood of the innocent running down the drains. John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain, John McCain. You voted for austerity and every free trade deal. You never met an oil well you didn't think that you should steal. About the poverty around you, you never did a thing except more military spending and less of everything that matters to the people who want a peaceful place to be without some war-crazed senator calling them his enemy. You called yourself a maverick, whatever the heck that meant. You had lofty aspirations to be the U.S. president. Now you're dead. It's over. Your terroristic reign. The liberals, they loved you. I loved the cancer in your brain. John McCain, John McCain, John McCain. Christoph Hummel, good to see you there watching. And minimum wage strike. No, I'm doing specific songs about that are from my upcoming studio album, which will be recorded tomorrow at Big Red Studio in Corbett, Oregon, with Billy Oskey producing and engineering, and I am up to the second to last song on the album. This is a rehearsal for. My YouTube is going fine, but on Facebook my battery is about to die. So if you get cut off from Facebook, I apologize. You could switch to YouTube if you want to see the last two songs, if they don't get onto it on Facebook. And this will be the second to last song on the album, which you can read about more at davidrovics.com/subscribe, which is where it will be exclusively available, at least for the beginning. This is a song I wrote last August about something that happened on August 9th. There's a heat wave in Portland. The sun shines down. Sprinklers are running all over town. It's hot too in Yemen. wash off the blood, you'll see USA written there. We're 44 children died.
Somebody said something? As a good guess, Richard Wolff. It was another professor from New York, but not Richard Wolff, although I'm a huge fan of Richard Wolff, and I think he's one of the best tweeters out there. Got one more song for you. Last song on the album should be titled Songs for Today, which you can read about at davidrovics.com/subscribe. This is thematic as well, beginning and ending with songs related to a certain element of the working class known as musicians.
Exactly what I'd need each month to pay the rent. I made that calculation. Looking at the stats, must be a lot of other people wearing the same hat. The concept may not be perfect, but in the streaming age, if we want to form a movement, it could be the first stage. The idea is very simple. Set up some ground rules, otherwise big takes make trillions, place the rest of us for fools. Now I'm just dreaming about the day that we might get a penny a play. It would not be a revolution, but as sure as the world is round, it'd be helpful to know how far you fall before you hit the ground. I'm a DIY musician, who knows for how long. What we need is union, so this is a union song. I'm just dreaming about the day I might get a penny a play. They say they're losing money, they'll say it to the end. But if you want to pay the landlord, you gotta have it to spend. More labor should be valued, no need to genuflect. A tiny fraction of a cent is not enough respect. Now I'm just dreaming about the day I could get a penny a play. These vulture capitalists in Stockholm and San Francisco play their shell games and think that we don't know that they are getting rich from the music that we made. At what point do we start getting paid? I'm just dreaming about the day we might get a penny a play. I'm just dreaming about the day I might get a penny a play.
Well, thank you for listening, everybody. This has been a dress rehearsal. Yeah, do they pay people a ridiculous amount? The payout from Spotify, according to one music journalist recent study, Anil Prasad's recent study, has found that the payout rate for independent musicians has gone down from 0.17 cents per song streamed to 0.1 cent per song streamed. Yeah, it's outrageous. and we need to organize against these corporations. We do not need to form alternate platforms. We do not need to boycott Spotify. We need to take on Spotify. We need to organize in the industry, not like the way they did, with the labor movement. That's what we need. And you can go here, read about it on my Penny Campaign for Streaming Justice. Just Google that. You'll find that, it's on my website too, Penny Campaign for Streaming Justice. And tell any musicians you know about that. And nothing to lose but your strings. Oh, that's excellent. Nothing to lose but your strings. Yeah, that has a real ring to it. Musicians of the world unite. Oh, good. Oh, no. Oh, you can scroll. Have you sung Joe Hill in any of your albums yet? I wrote a song called Joe Hill, and it is on my album The Other Side. And if you are thinking of the song Joe Hill by Earl Robison, written in 1923, I did also record that, but not on an album. It's somewhere on YouTube. And Logan, yeah, Howard Zinn. No, he's another New Yorker that could have been my professor, but it was actually here's a hint: the professor in question was a student of Howard Zinn's. I'd tell you who it was, but I'm not necessarily being too public about that song in terms of who it's about, because it's supposed to be a surprise. Not much of a surprise, but nobody's guessed who it's about yet. Anyway, so there might be a surprise. We'll see. But it's hard to make it a surprise when you're putting it on an album before the surprise party happens. Oh well. Yeah, I'll stick around for another minute in case anybody has anything they want to say or ask or anything. But otherwise, I have just been doing this little dress rehearsal, so to speak, for my album, which will be recorded tomorrow. Parenti is also a New Yorker, but not Parenti. Good guess. What else? Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. Let's see. Thanks for the dress rehearsal. I plan Oxford, Kentucky, by any chance. I actually in autumn. Oh, thanks for mentioning that. I love it when people mention things that are sort of obviously self-promotional for me, but I'm doing a tour I'm going to be in Scandinavia all summer, and I'm very much available to do gigs there. But in the fall, I'll be also touring around Europe as well as in the United States. What I have planned so far is Illinois in mid-October, so it is entirely possible that I could play in Kentucky or various other places in the region if anybody wanted to organize a paying gig. It doesn't necessarily need to be a really good paying gig, but needs to pay something. Because I will be in the area, and I do have some other income to help me with travel expenses, but it still needs to pay something. The UK, not Kentucky. Oh, what, Oxford, Kentucky? I thought you said Oxford, Kentucky. Why did I think that? Anyway, that's much better, because I'll definitely be in the UK. Nothing about Oxford, Kentucky. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, because I thought that said KY instead of UK. Yes, I will be in. I would love to play in Oxford. I will be in England. I'm doing several gigs in London in November, early November, and I would love to do more in Oxford and elsewhere, as well as Scotland, Wales, Ireland. I'll be in also Germany, Switzerland, I hope. So yeah, definitely in England in November, and hopefully Germany in October, and all summer in Denmark, Sweden, and maybe elsewhere. So yeah. And the Midwestern U.S. as well, before I go to Europe. What else? Anything? Anybody else have anything they want to talk about randomly? Oh, I would love to come to Missouri too. It's just the trick of organizing a paying gig, and I can be there. I'll be in Southern Illinois, Logan, so it's basically not that hard. If I might even ask a friend of mine in St. Louis if they want to organize something, because I will be nearby. So it would basically be a matter of a gig with a relatively small guarantee, but not nothing. And so if that might be a prospect. House concerts, that's fine. And you could read about it on my website, How to Organize a Show, davidrovics.com. And thanks for listening, everybody. It's been a great pleasure. And And I'll definitely be in Scotland, Marco. I will definitely see you in Scotland for sure. Glasgow, hopefully elsewhere. And it's not all set up yet. On my website, you'll see very little that's booked, but it is coming. And if you go to my website, you can see the tour poster too, davidrovics.com. Click on gigs, you'll see the tour poster, and click on subscribe. You'll see the album cover. That's going to be existing very soon. Vosh? No, who's Vosh, Rumen? Who's Vosh? Is that a musician? I've not heard of Vosh, but that is probably somebody I should hear of. In Winnipeg, I just heard Maria Dunn for the first time. What a fantastic songwriter. I had never heard of Maria Dunn. Oh, that's right. If Paula, if you're watching, add Maria Dunn to Song News Network. Bread tubers. What is bread tuber? It keeps on popping up on my screen because I think I seem to be subscribed to something, BreadTube or something on Reddit, but I do not know what BreadTube is. Maybe somebody can tell me about that. Is that like YouTube, or is it? I don't know. I should look into this. Somebody's actually mentioning it here to me directly, so I need to find out what BreadTube is, which I shall do. Ever come to Australia? I love those questions. And Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland, hopefully. Berlin, I hope so. Somebody needs to organize a gig there. That's always the hard thing in Berlin, because there's everything's happening in Berlin all the time. So it's hard to find people who want to bother organizing a gig, because everybody comes to Berlin, right? You know, it's much easier to get a gig together in Munich than in Berlin. But yeah, if anybody in Berlin wants to organize a gig, that'd be great. And I hope, and that's quite likely to happen in Switzerland, and I should bother people in Switzerland soon. And Australia, Rachel, yes, I do. I do come to Australia now and then, but it's been many years. And basically, Australia makes life very difficult for touring musicians. And the Australian government really needs to stop charging for a work visa for people to come do gigs, because it's already, for anybody coming from anywhere to go to Australia, it's an outrageously expensive prospect to get there, let alone to make any money doing a tour there. So if the Australian government wants to encourage culture in Australia, and they want the culture to be happening with people that aren't all, living in Australia, they need to get rid of that visa requirement first of all. So it's just crazy expensive to do a tour in Australia, unlike New Zealand, which has no visa, but you can't just tour New Zealand. You got to do Australia too when you're going there. Otherwise, it doesn't really work financially. So yeah, I don't get to Australia much because of those kinds of problems. Canada used to be just as problematic, but now they don't require a work visa either, and it's also a lot closer to me than Australia. There are a lot of great. What's on BreadTube? Somebody's talking about BreadTube, and sorry about the Facebook window about to disappear probably. Non-compete too. There are a lot of great BreadTube. A lot of great what? Why is this getting cut off? My messages are getting cut off somehow. But bread refers to Conquest of Bread by Kropotkin. Oh, BreadTube is Left Wingers on YouTube. Left Wingers on YouTube, and it's like a channel. Is it a channel? Can I be on it? Okay, Peter Coffin. That's a musician. I need to look up Peter Coffin. And who else? And yeah, leftist. I need to find. Okay, yeah, BreadTube. What do I do with BreadTube? Tell me what I should do with BreadTube. I need to know more. Oh, it's a whole lot of channels. I want my channel to be on there. Can we put my channel on there? I need to investigate this. I'm probably like saying stupid things like print out the internet or something, I don't know. BreadTube. I'll look into it. And what else? Hi, Stormy. Hi, Frasso. Oh, nice. And yeah, what else? Anything? I like talking to people here, even though it's like a bit of a monologue, but technically, I think who does? Okay, you're fully automated guy. That messages keep on getting cut off. That's weird. Why? I've never seen that before. Messages getting cut off in this particular venue. Urban Dictionary, BreadTube. It has an Urban Dictionary. All right, where you go for bread tubing. Okay, I need to look into this. It even has an Urban Dictionary entry. I'm kind of against bread, basically. I stopped eating bread last spring, a year ago. It's been really good. I highly recommend it. If anybody out there is trying to lose weight, stop eating bread. entirely. Just cut out all bread, all grains actually. No grain, no beans, and then watch what happens. It's great. It's amazing. Okay, there's my weight loss advice for the day. Anything else? Not that anybody asked. Um, oh, good. A link. Wikipedia. I don't know if what happens if I click on it. Probably everything disappears, so I won't do that. But, the bread's a metaphor. Oh, okay. Metaphors are fine too, but yeah, I like cheese and bread, or like bread and butter, or bread and circus, or I don't know. There's a lot of no. Bread is an important metaphor. We can't just get rid of the bread metaphor. It's been with us for way too long. Oh, a community of left-wing YouTubers and the subreddit associated with them. It is Reddit, right? A reference to anarchist Peter Kropotkin's 1892 book, The Conquest of Bread. Ah, okay. Some of the YouTubers. Okay, so excellent, excellent. Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh, I really need to check this out. Oh, great. Oh, and somebody can't hear anymore, but that's I don't know why. Cool. Yeah. What else? Anything? I hate to run away. Like if somebody's like typing over there and like then the message appears after I'm gone. Oh, we just lost Facebook because of the battery dying. So I guess we might as well just shut down this broadcast on YouTube as well. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I will see you somewhere along the lines, or along the line, or somewhere else. Bye bye.